and welcome to the show. We are here today on Forza Horizon 5 for some more multiplayer races, and in fact for this one we're going to be using the fastest cars we've ever used in one of these, as we are using some S1 class vehicles. However, they're not all the way to the top of S1 class. These are 850 PI. The reason we're not going all the way to the top is because, well, this is a very, very wide class, if you like. And the cars at the very top are incredibly powerful, incredibly fast, and a lot of the time you don't get particularly close racing. So instead, the 850 mark is a pretty good. I mean, these are still very, very fast cars we've got going on here, but this is a little bit more manageable and hopefully a little closer racing, shall we say. So other than it being 850 PI, there was no real rules. The reason why I want to do this is it gives some different cars a chance. I mean, I'm using the RC-F Track edition, which I would probably never use in one of these. Not because I don't like it very much, but it starts off towards the top of A class, so for an A class race you get no PI to do anything really with it, so yeah, it probably wouldn't get used. Here though, I'm on slick tyres, we're a bit lighter, about 3,200 pounds. The Celine is going to absolutely monster us down a straight, but the hope is that we will outturn it in the low speed stuff at least. That's the theory here. We do, but I don't know what I'm doing with my car. Can we duck underneath the Celine here? Yeah, we're going to pry the door open a little bit with the Lexus. The Escort has, of course, got the all-wheel drive. Some cars, you could have converted vehicles, I have not. I'm still with rear-wheel drive here. These are all tarmac races for these cars, which is why I'm on the full race slicks. We are going to have a look at drawing alongside the Celine. Can't quite do it. Now the S7's going to stretch its legs a little bit. Through here, we've got an F40 and a wide-body Supra up ahead. I could have been way braver through there, and I would be next lap around. We're all over the back of the Supra looking for a way past. We're going to try and follow the Celine. I know I've got good brakes down here. Once again, don't think the Supra realised we were quite going to be there on the inside of it through all of that. We are through. I couldn't turn in any sooner. I had to actually get to the checkpoint flag. We will go blasting off after the F40. That's a silly clonk on a wall that I didn't need. I love how we've all got these supercars and, in my case, kind of a special edition track version. It's an Escort. Like, we've got this sort of bigger PI class to try and let some different cars, and it was an Escort Cosworth leading the way. We've got a Supra. We're going to have a look to the outside up here, but I don't think you're going to quite get that one done, although you tap the rear of my car, I'm going to struggle to get myself turned through that. The F40 got a bunch of understeer. We've got to try and figure out where I can make up some lap speed in this. It's going to be all corners for me. We do get understeer. The thing I like about this car is it's driving the way I like my car set up, in that we get understeer before we get oversteer. I don't do well with an oversteery car. It's just my driving style. I know it's a little bit unusual, but it's the way I like my cars to be. And yeah, the back end of this is stuck to the road, which is good news. Oh, unfortunately, my driving is sometimes letting it down in places, as I am thinking we've got more grip than we actually do through a couple of these corners. The Celine has come to harry us a little bit. If anything, we're maybe catching the F40 slightly. Celine is going to have a look up the top of the hill here. We're going to make it go the awkward way around, which it is not quite going to be able to make stick. We will run out a little bit wide through there, but all is fine with the RCF. Okay, I'm actually pleased. I was worried. I built this car because I wanted to use it. I didn't know if it was going to be any good. Too early on the brakes through there. Could have carried more speed. Didn't know it would be any good, but I'd say this is a pretty damn good car. It's maybe not quite... it's not. It's certainly not the fastest thing here, but it's going to be competitive at other tracks, which is what I like to see. I certainly see plenty of potential in this car. The F40 is about to go off harrying that Escort Cosworth potentially for the win. I've got one more lap after this. Feels like this has been a long race. This has been a tough race so far. We've got a Celine constantly bothering us. We're there or thereabouts in pace. It's not quite enough pace to catch. We're going to defend because I know what the Celine is going to want to do. we can just park our car in an annoying place, and you can see the Celine seriously struggling with the understeer through there. It just can't match our pace through the corner, and then it's just too far back by the end of these straights. Is that better for us through there? That was almost perfect. Just a little too fast as we brushed the wall on the outside. We've got to constantly keep an eye out behind, just in case the Celine's got miraculously closer, and that will not help me. The tap on the wall. Celine might get us here. Can't quite do it. Yeah, it's... So that was asking everything I had of the RCF there. We made it just awkward enough that the Celine couldn't quite get itself there. The F40 has got to the front of the field. Will the Escort have an answer for it on the run up the hill? That is the question. It doesn't look like it quite. Of course, this track probably won't be the most all-wheel drive, not that significant around here, because there's not really any low-speed traction zones. I don't really notice the fact that I'm rear-wheel drive at all around this circuit. We can have a little lift heading through the final corner. Bloody hell. Oh, hard work. That was a really good race. That was a really, really good race in that one. I think the lap times are going to be close. Yeah, I'd say lap times pretty damn close between the top 5. Bloody hell. So, we are off to the Arch Circuit for our next race. I'm kind of curious about how the Lexus is going to fare here. I mean, the long straight, it's not going to be great at, but in the twisty stuff, it might be pretty good. I suspect it's going to be the same 5 towards the front, unless anything suddenly comes really, really good at this track. But which of those 5 is going to be strong will be interesting to see. The Celine is going to be a monster down this kind of start-finish straight. So the Escort and Lambo launch well. Of course, the Supra is fast launching. I'm going to be one of the slower cars down the straight, but I'm okay with that. I know where my car is strong here, and that is the corners. We're going to be a monster when it gets to the corners. I imagine the Escort might not have a huge amount of top end. It'll be fast accelerating, but it might not have a huge amount of top end. Of course, the problem for me is that we could have very quick lap times, but because we're so fast, so slow down the straight, and not great off the line, we get stuck in this, which is not really where I want to be. Hopefully we can kind of sort ourselves out and get clear, but we've already kind of lost this race. Even if we had the fastest car in the field, the gap between me and the Celine is so big from lap 1, there's nothing I can, realistically, we could never ever catch that. So that is a downside with this. That's not to say we can't have a fun race, of course. I'm hoping we will. The Speedster runs wide and gets into trouble. We certainly have got the Supra to try and chase down, and in front of that, what is that, Gallardo, I think. Yeah, we'll see what we can do against those, but any further up than that, I think is unlikely, but that is just the, say, the luck of the grids a little bit. Okay, we should be quick. Now, in theory, through this section, we are. The change of direction is very good for the Lexus. We saw the Supra going around the outside of the street furniture. A little bit of understeer through there. Not much that we can do about it. We were kind of expecting that, should be expecting that, really, from what we saw in the first race. Unfortunately, I can't afford to be understeering out of that final corner, because it just kills all our momentum down this straight, and we need every little bit of it that we can get. Supra's looking brave around the outside at turn 1. It might hold it. Well, it holds on the track, isn't going to hold it to make the pass stick. Still on the outside up here. That's it, you lot. Fight for that position. Oh, let me understeer my way into a wall. I mean, let me catch up while you have a big squabble for that one. Yeah, I mean, my lack of straight line speed is kind of the Achilles heel, really, for this one. We'll get a burst of wheel spin over that crest. Supra runs out wide and clonks the wall through there. Now, if we can get better through here, maybe we can be in a better position to attack. Nah, not really. The Celine has got the lead, and by the looks of it is pulling away. We're just too slow down the straight. The F40 is coming under fire from that Escort, or at least they're fighting one another. Supra's up the inside now into turn 1, and this time out, I think the Supra is going to complete the pass. It does. We ask a little too much of the RCF there with a wheel on the dirt. Oh, although the Supra couldn't get it stopped for the next corner, and the Lamborghini fires back past. Good move by the Gallardo there to kind of bide its time, wait for the opportune moment, strike when it could, really. We will hopefully catch up a little bit through here, if at all possible. There is the faintest, the only real time we've seen oversteer is on these bumps. Oh, well, and that bit of sticky out will kill us. This track's just not really gone very well for me. Here, we haven't got the pace in the car, and that bumpy slide has been the kind of death battle for us, really. We're just going to sit in no man's land in 6th, not able to do much. Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate for the RCF, but there is not much more we can do than this. I think the pace, it's kind of close to the cars in front. I don't think they were really pulling away from us, but this track is just too fast for my car. It's just, yeah, we don't really excel in the places, in any of the places here, enough to make up the lap time that we lose down that start-finish straight. Hey, that was a poor line. It's been a bit scruffy by me, which hasn't helped, but I think it's been caused by me trying to overdrive the car because we just don't have the pace. That previous track we definitely were competitive, but here, a whole nother story. Celine is going to take victory from the F40. We are a long way off the podium this time around. But, I mean, the hope for my car is going to work at other tracks. That's about it. That's about the only redeeming thing, because it definitely didn't work there. We are off to the Plaza Circuit for our next race. I might be half decent here. I think the all-wheel drive Escort there's a long way back. I think that and the Gallardo might also like this track quite a lot. We are going to be... we're going to be grippy. We should have quite good traction, but not all-wheel drive levels of traction. I mean, I know our speed won't be great on the exit of turn 1 and a couple of other places. We are really quite bad off the line. I'm not quite sure why. But yeah, hopefully our grip will do us nicely around this one. The F40 with a big slide. We get a fair bit of understeer through all of this. We'll be on the brakes and take the lead of the race here. Now, the all-wheel drive cars, of course, I am very concerned about. Oh, the F40 is going to have a look. It got a bump from the Supra that fired it past, but we will cut back underneath on the exit, and the Lexus is to the front of the pack. Now, the Celine... I mean, we know how fast that Celine is in a straight line, but this might be too much of a handling circuit for the Celine to excel at. We've got to try and minimise wheel spin in this, because we know the all-wheel drive cars will be monsters on the power, naturally, because they can just go to full throttle and not really have to worry about it. I can almost get away with that, but even with big slick tyres and not the most power here, it's still enough power to overwhelm the back of the car. A little bit of understeer through there for the Lexus. And here comes the F40. Where is that going to be having a think? It might have a think into this final corner. No, can't quite do it. We are out the other side, so we're a bit more composed all the way through there. It's not a big enough run down towards this first corner. And the first corner is very nasty at this track. It's a really tough one to get right. It's bumpy all the way through here as well. We get some understeer in the Lexus, but we still have enough speed to make this one work. And then the slow speed stuff, I'm hoping this is where we'll be good. The F40 moving around. I know the F40 gets some big tyres at the back there. Oh, don't know what compound tyre it'll be on. Might be on semi-slicks, might be on slicks. I can just hear a howling Ferrari engine behind me. We've got kind of nice rumbly V8. I presume it's a V8 in the RCF, pretty sure it is. yeah, we've got a nice rumbly engine, but it's nothing compared to the howl of that Ferrari. The Supra's in third. The Celine is struggling more at this track, kind of what we expected. I'm surprised to see the Gallardo and Escort not faster here. That Ferrari is having a look. Oh, we're in a little bit of no man's land there. That was a little bit iffy from me. We kind of didn't really defend, and we were understeered a little bit wide. Luckily, the Ferrari just couldn't quite make the most of it to get past, because we still have that little bit more grip. Oh, and the Ferrari's made a big error in the final corner. That's good news for me. That buys me a little bit of breathing space, so to speak. I mean, I'm getting better at turn 1 here. We're not quite wandering as far wide as I have done in some other cars. Well, there goes some of our lead. We hit the bumps and it tipped my car into the corner a little bit too soon. Now, we get away with that. It could have been a lot worse, but yeah, I mean, the bumps, everything here is probably on, you know, very race-orientated suspension, and these bumps are mean. They've caught out a few of my cars in the past. We were all right the first lap over there, but subsequent laps we have been bounced about a little bit awkwardly, but I think everyone's dealing with it. All of these cars are going to get chucked about there. This is... Oh, get off the curb. Yeah, that F40 is just a little bit too fast for me. We are going to have to be a very wide Lexus, and that is an unfortunate one. Come on, Lexus, try it. It's too quick. It's too light for me up these hills. It is past, and unless it makes a mistake and there is a gap where we can shove the nose of the RCF, I'm not sure where we're going to fight back, because it can just out-accelerate me out of these corners. Yeah, I mean, it made a pretty big mistake in this final corner last lap around. Still struggling a little bit under brakes as that F40. We carry some good mid-corner speed. We're going to have to go for it on this final lap and hope, really. This is probably our best chance with the Lexus of getting a victory anywhere. We're not close enough at the moment. Can the F40 get unsettled over these bumps? No, but we do. Just not got the speed. Just not got the pace in the car. We're going to overdrive it and run too deep. I can't match it. Ferrari's got us. Oh, yeah, unfortunate. The Lexus is good. It is a strong car. It's a little bit too heavy, really, I think, for this battle. We've got mid-corner grip is maybe just a smidge better in the RCF, but we're probably 500, 600 pounds heavier than the Ferrari with about similar levels of power. It's just so fast accelerating, and with some big rear tyres. I mean, it's a bit more of a handful, I suspect, the Ferrari, but with those big rear tyres, it's still got enough traction just to make the lap time on us. It gets some understeer through here. We get a little bit of understeer. Actually, we get quite a nice line through there on this final lap of the race. But unless it has a very big problem at the final corner, she actually got a little bit out of shape. We had a very good run through there. We get a little bit of street furniture, though. On the exit, just can't match it. The F40 claims victory, but it's a strong showing from the RCF. I'm proud of the car. Slightly disappointed we couldn't get a victory. Always am. However, yeah, I just don't think we had the pace. Yes, a second a lap quicker. I can't fend that off forever. However, it is a strong second place for the RCF. We beat the Supra, the Escort and Gallardo end up 4th and 5th. The Celine down in a 6th place in this one. Yeah, the big Celine, probably a bit too much of a handful around this circuit. We are off to the Estadia circuit for our next race. I like this track. There's a mixed level of confidence in my car, if I'm honest with you here. We're going to be quick in places. We might be very fast at the back chicane. I think my car is probably best at the medium speed corners, I would say. That's probably where we'll make it. That's probably why we're so fast at the first track. We're good at the slow speed stuff, the technical stuff. However, the F40 is faster than us. I think is lightweight. The acceleration is what does it for that. We are so poor off the line, which does not help. We are probably one of the heavier cars here. We're definitely not the heaviest, but we are probably one of the heavier cars, actually, in this. Certainly compared to some of these. 190 is going to get a slide all the way through here. Yeah, we do have stability on our sides, definitely. We can chuck this into the corners and it does stick very nicely and is consistent with the sticking. We have gone in quite deep on the way in there. Oh, okay, not used to driving this fast to a car through there. Got to back that up a little bit. Definitely got to back that up a little bit. We might be able to get underneath the Escort here and move ourselves to 4th. We do. Now we are going to get a little bit beaten down the start-finish straight, unfortunately. We'll try and sit in the draft of the Gallardo. It looks like it's going to be F40 versus Celine up at the front. We might be in the battle for 3rd, and that might be the best that we can get here. Yeah, the Escort. So the Escort has acceleration, but it doesn't have the top end. Kind of what I expected from that car. Gallardo struggling with more understeer than me. We will try and get a good run up the hill, but it puts us on the outside here, which is not where I want to be. Going to have a lift, try and duck back underneath the Lambo as we run down the hill. Now we're side by side, heading into a very fast corner, and the Lamborghini's going to have to lift because that is a long way around the outside. That it doesn't quite have the grip to make it work, but it does, importantly, get back across in front of the Escort. I mean, we are back to 3rd now. With the Lexus as we come in towards our, I say, strong part of the circuit. We'll punch out the other side. We've got to worry. We've got 2 all-wheel drive cars behind us. The Supra might be our bigger concern, but it's maybe struggling a little bit more at this track. I think we can consolidate a 3rd place with this one, to be honest, if we don't do anything dumb. Again, even if we have the fastest car in the field, I don't think we're catching the top 2, who actually look like they got together somewhere and lost a heap of time. I made an absolute hash of that first corner. Typical, the lap where we might have stood a chance of making some gains, we completely beansed it all up. I'll be interested to see the fastest lap time comparison. If I can get this section right, not like that. Definitely not like that. See, I think I'm better off being a little slower on the way into that chicane and focus on getting a good exit. I think it is the way to go rather than just chuck it on the way in and worry about the exit later. But that time I got a big wiggle going on that I didn't want. Don't want wiggles in this car. That does not help us in terms of anything, really. I mean, it isn't going to be a better lap if it is around a similar time. But there's definitely a little bit more pace in this car if I can get everything right. Get it stopped for turn 1. Don't end up in the outside wall. Would be good. Try and carry as much speed as we can through there. That is better for us. But I just don't... Ooh, didn't expect it to let go going up over that crest. We're not going to catch the top 2. Their little bump gave me a tiny sense of hope, but that sense of hope is long gone. That's better through the chicane. That's the sort of line we want. The Escort smoking the tyres. Well, I think there's probably more likely a little bit of lag going on, as is the F40 up ahead. We know the game does lag a little bit sometimes, especially when trying to show the tyre smoke. Cars aren't locking up and smoking the tyres as much as the game might sometimes lead you to believe. The Gallardo has fallen back. Yeah, I mean, we're kind of a 3rd place car at this track, which, again, I'm fairly happy. I know the F40 Celine are great cars. The RC-F, a little bit more of I say a little bit more of an out there choice. I love the way it drives. It's great fun to drive. Just not quite got their pace for some of this stuff. Probably the first track was probably where we were most competitive, if I'm honest, which is kind of a surprise to me in some ways. We'll run through that. Maybe the way to go with this car was semi-slicks and a bunch more power. Might have been the way to go, because we are a little bit heavy and the car is pretty good to start with. Maybe that was the better plan in hindsight, but hindsight is a wonderful thing. And if I had gone semi-slicks, we wouldn't have been as good handling. We might have made the most of it. We might have got, yeah, maybe. Who knows? It's easy to say that in hindsight the Escort was actually catching. I had a little bit of a scrappy couple of final laps there, to be honest. Oh, someone missed a checkpoint. Well, we got gifted a 2nd place. I'll take it. Who missed it? Oh, it was the F40. Yeah, did not have the pace of the top 2. I mean, actually, we weren't that far off the F40 there. We're only talking half a second. Couldn't match the Celine. About half a second, although I drove a bit poorly towards the end of that race. But, again, I'm pleased with the RCF. It's certainly a consistent performer. We head to our final race at a track that is really not Lexus, not Lexus friendly. Well, I suspect not Lexus friendly. We'll probably be quick in a couple of the faster corners, but the lack of top speed is getting murderous a little bit around here. But I say, what can we do? I'll drive the wheels off the car as much as I can. I'm not actually all that good at this track either. We left it a little bit long in first there. Not a great start for us. Not that we ever get great starts, but we could have done much better. Yeah, let's see. I suspect the Celine is going to be the one to beat around here. I have no doubt with its immense top speed is going to be fast down these straights. The F40 is quicker than I am down here. We are at least, yeah, should be pretty good under braking. Just haven't got the acceleration coming out of it. It's these kind of corners here where we might make some lap time if we're going to. The F40 is going to try to look to the inside, but then outside for the next corner. We are still going to hold it. Unfortunately, we are now coming up to a little bit of traffic here. Something's bounced across the grass and the sand. I don't know what it was. Was that the Supra? I think it was the Supra escaping the circuit a little bit. It's not what you want. Never what you want to see going on. We will try and duck underneath the RX-7, having all manner of oversteery moments. And we are through and up a position. Oy, struggling there. Okay, so now the question is, can we chase down the all-wheel drive cars? Can we go after the Gallardo? Can we go after the Escort? We suspect the F40. I'm kind of expecting the Ferrari to find a way past at some point. We'll make it as difficult as we can, but I think it's just going to be a bit too good for us. Lexus, great under brakes though. We can dive late there. I mean, that was about as good as we could realistically hope from the RCF there. And we will fend off the Ferrari for another few corners. It's coming back at us again down here. If we can be neat and tidy through this section. It might struggle. Too much speed on the way in. I can hear again. We can just hear the howl of the Ferrari as it's trying to get underneath. I'm going to let it go past there because it's going to understeer wide, and we will take the position back from it. Because, yeah, that's the section where we're probably strongest, if I don't make any mistakes. And again, through this final corner, we should be quite strong. We are slightly catching the Gallardo. I think we're going to run out of time, really, especially if me and the Ferrari have a big fight over this position. We'll definitely run out of time. Celine, I mean, it's gone. It's not by a billion miles, but it is clearly fast here. The F40 is going to have a look. This time it is to the inside. I'm going to go for the cutback again because we know we're so good under brake. The Ferrari is struggling. We could almost goad the Ferrari into that one. The brakes on this are phenomenal, so we just kind of let the Ferrari outbrake itself, cut underneath, and we will get the place back. And now we have a little bit of a breather from the howling of that F40 to try and focus on chasing the cars down ahead of us, but I got that corner all wrong. And the F40 is clearly faster than we are, but we can be difficult to overtake because we've got good grip in a few places and because we've got very good brakes. We can make life awkward for the F40. It's kind of a shame, actually, we're not closer to the Gallardo and Escort from the first lap. We could have been. I think we could have had a really good tussle with all of them cars. Because, yeah, we're very evenly matched the Gallardo, and definitely we're both catching the Escort here. I hear a howling. Go on then, Ferrari. Let's see if you can get us this time around. We will just go late on the brakes into turn. Oh, there's maybe a little squeeze against the wall that time. Thought we were just going to get it right. Might have been a little cheeky on the F40 there. It's going to get another opportunity though, because it's going to be quick here. Will it be able to find a way past us? It's definitely looking every which way. We're going to park it on the apex, that's perfectly fair to do. And through these next couple of corners, we've got to be careful because we know it's going to want to be having a look somewhere. The Gallardo's wandered wide. The Ferrari's out a little bit wide as well. we have got to be spot on through this final corner, which we are not quite, although the Ferrari is wide as well. I really wish we could have fought with the Escort and the Gallardo. I think there could have been a really, really fun race in that one. Oh, I like that RC-F, you know? We are clearly not... I mean, yeah, me and the F40 very close on pace. That was more of a Saleen circuit. Yeah, I mean, we're not... Actually, bloody hell, the Supra was monstrously quick there as well. We're not the fastest car here, but we're definitely competitive. You know, I think whatever track there's a car a little faster than the RC-F, whether it be the F40, whether it be the Saleen, whether it be something else. Yeah, we are not the fastest car, but we are competitive. Outside of the Arch circuit where we did struggle, everywhere else we've definitely been fighting for podiums. I really like that car. I'm really pleased with it. I didn't expect it to be great. As I said, I picked it just because I liked the RC-F and never really had an excuse to run it before. But actually really good fun. Yeah, maybe semi-slicks and a bit more power might have been the way to go ultimately. However, I really enjoyed that car. So, there we go. That is going to be it for this video. If you'd like to sign up to take part in the next one of these, you can via our Discord. There'll be a link in the description. Find the Versus the Community sign-up section and you can register to take part in there. That is going to be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.